Shalom, my friends. Welcome to this week's newscast. Starting with Sunday, January 18th, 6 Hezbollah fighters were killed in an Israeli airstrike on the Syrian side of the Golan. Then on Monday, January 19th, Kurdish fighters battling the Islamic State militant group in Kobani captured a strategic hilltop, giving them a line of fire over the town. The Kurdish YPG seized the Mishtenur hilltop after fierce clashes overnight, leading to the deaths of at least 11 Islamic State fighters and the seizure of large quantities of weapons and ammunition. Then on Tuesday, January 20th, Yemen's information minister reported that Shiite Houthi rebels were shelling the residence of the country's president as they also swept into the presidential palace in the capital, Sana'a. The minister, Nadia al-Sakaf, posted on her Twitter account saying that President Abed Rabo Mansour Hadi's home in downtown Sana'a had come under, quote, heavy shelling since 3 p.m. by armed forces positioned over rooftops facing his house. Then on Wednesday, January 21st, Afghanistan's government forces killed 23 Taliban militants during operations in the southern province of Kandahar, the northern province of Kunduz, and in Kapisa province, just north of Kabul. Then on Thursday, January 22nd, Russia sent more troops into the Ukraine than at any time since the crisis began, deploying 9,000 soldiers inside its neighbor, dispatching 500 tanks and other armored vehicles over the border. A total of 5 Russian infantry battalions are now believed to be inside eastern Ukraine. The Iranian military continued to threaten Israel on Thursday, following the assassination of at least one of its senior commanders in Syria during an airstrike over the weekend. In multiple statements issued by leaders of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC. Top Iranian military leaders promised to hit Israel with, quote, devastating thunderbolts, vowed to effect the collapse of the Zionist regime after Israeli military forces launched a surprise strike on Sunday that killed 6 Iranian agents, including the top-level commander, and 5 members of Hezbollah, who are believed to have been planning an incursion into Israel. Iran also vowed to increase military support for Palestinian and Lebanese militants in order to enable more attacks on Israel. Things are certainly escalating, my friends. Then on Friday, January 23rd, Syrian government airstrikes on a rebel-held village east of Damascus killed 32 civilians, including 6 children. On Saturday, January 24th, the bodies of 3 additional Lebanese soldiers were discovered in a battlefield close to the Syrian border, bringing the quantity killed to a total of 8 in the newest clashes with Syrian Islamist rebels. These intense gun battles have once again dramatized how violence from the Syrian war, now approaching its 4th year, has migrated into neighboring Lebanon. Pro-Russia separatists launched an offensive on the strategic eastern Ukrainian city of Mariupol. Some 30 people were killed as fighting escalated to the worst level in months. Then on Sunday, January 25th, at least 35 militants were killed as Pakistan armed forces carried out fresh airstrikes in the North Waziristan tribal agency, bordering Afghanistan. Nigerian troops clashed with ISIS fighters who attacked Maiduguri, the biggest city in northeast Nigeria. Dozens of combatants were killed and wounded. The death of Saudi King Abdullah brings prophecies fulfilled. Saudi Arabia's king and longtime U.S. ally, Abdullah bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, died Friday morning. He was 90 years old. According to Islamic prophecy, the death of King Abdullah marks the beginning of a chain of prophetic events which will shock the world. The Ayatollahs in Iran believe the death of King Abdullah is the sign which announces the imminent arrival of their Mahdi, that is, Islam's Messiah, and the destruction of Israel. According to Shiite hadiths, after the death of a king named Abdullah in the Hijaz, a western region of present-day Saudi Arabia, no successor to the throne would be accepted, and disagreements would escalate and persist until the rise of Imam Mahdi. The Shiites believe that divine imams are heirs to the political and religious ummah, that is, the Islamic nation. These 12 imams are successors to the Prophet Muhammad and to the head of the caliphate, with Mahdi being the final imam who disappeared or went into occultation. An occultation is an event that occurs when one object is hidden by another object that passes between it and the observer. They say that the Mahdi will be revealed only in the end times, along with Jesus, that is Yeshua, to deliver peace to the world. That's their prophecy, not biblical or scriptural prophecy. But once again, as I pointed out last week, 2015 is shaping up to be a year of new beginnings worldwide, my friends. And that's the news for this week. Stay safe, and Abba willing, I'll see you here next week. Until then, shalom, my friends.
Crowded rooms, I need more space than I consume. Enough is time alone with you, underneath a naked moon, sharing confidential moods and making chatter. Mockingbird nocturnal sings notations of eternal things, entering the quantum breeze, flying not for want of wings. He lights his gaze on you and me, simply because we matter.